Hey, good morning, Tanse. Yeah, Brenda Albert here from Clifford Watney School, doing another passing down information, knowledge that I was taught to, that I wish I'm passing down to the young people so they can pass it down to them. Today, notes, I'm going to be discussing ayisiyiniwiwin, pimatisiwin. That's what it's called. Human, the life that the human goes through, the different stages that a human goes through. All in all, the end result that everybody prays and strives for, even our even our elders pray for the young peoples to reach the final stage in their life, which is to be a old person, kihteya. So first of all, there are no. Some people say there's 4 stages. There is not. There's different stages. Good morning, Tiana and Troche. Yeah, Tapwe. That's right. But anyways, there are no like a specific amount of life stages. It's how each human goes through these stages. And the first one, and there is no age, no age attached to these different life stages. Kihteya, the elder, is the one that determines if the person has gone on to the next stage by just observing that person. For instance, guess we'll start off at the beginning. We are going to start off with the infant, the baby. And we have a word for an infant / baby. I even wrote these on a strip of paper so that you can see the word, the English word, and the word written in Roman orthography. The word for infant baby is apistawasis. This word apistawasis means little child. This is this stage is when the child is born till I would say any suppunit about 2 years old. They're very innocent. They're very clean. They're just like little spirits, and this is the most important time that a human goes through. This is they're so innocent that we have to do our best to protect them. So this obstawasis is very clean, and this is the stage where they pick up lots. You figure that a human, a child a baby at this stage cannot hear or see anything. They actually do. And they are like little sponges. They're absorbing all that what they see and hear around them. So we have to do our best to protect these little people here, apistoasis. This is the time when they are also put in moss bags to protect them from the outside world, like to because they just came into this world from like a tiny moss bag inside the woman's body. And in our language, egenatistic, abstuasak, they're so clean. Every little thing can hurt them. So, and this is, usually this is the time when a child is given a nehiyaweytan, a Cree name, to protect that Cree name. It's Gweme, its guardian, grandfather, grandmother from the early start. So yeah, this is the abstuasis, the infant baby, right from birth till about 2 years old. About any suppunit, 2 years old. And yeah. And the next stage that we all went through, all of us, is the child, awasis. This is when their world gets a little bit bigger. Like they're walking, running, and they're picking up more of the things around them. They express a lot of emotion. They are able to pick up the language. This is when it's really crucial to teach a language when the human is at this stage, awasis. Because they're like, their sponge is much bigger, and we still have to protect them from all the harm, from anything that would, influence them, because they really pick up more. I would say this is about 3 years old till I would say about depends on that child. I would say about 9, 10 there, because they are learning a lot of skills, a lot of language, and they're picking up a lot of emotions, like I said. So and they do pick up also negative stuff, and we try to avoid from exposing awasis from that kind of negative stuff, because that is not how we want to raise our children, with all that negative stuff. So this is the child awasis. Now, right after they kind of glide into this, the child awasis, they either become isquaces. Well, they don't become, they're already isquaces, but you will know when they are during this stage here, the isquaces, this is when they do a lot more hands-on learning. years that the girl, Nisquasis, is taught how to do housework, because that kind of stuff would help her in the future when she has a home of her own and children, a family of her own to take care of. So this is a lot of hands-on learning, Nisquasis, to teach them, for instance, to teach them how to clean up a house, to do laundry, to make bannock. Some girls, Squaysuck, as young as 6, 7, are already taught how to make bannock. A lot of mistakes, but that's how we learn. Uh, so these squaces. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish off on the female side, the girl side, and I'll go to the boys side. Okay. So this is a squaces. This one too is still a child in the mind, but at the same time, the girl squeezes is being taught these womanly chores, I would say, duties, because these are the things that she will need to learn how to do when she has a home of her own. Now, the next stage, okay, first of all, I guess the girl, I would say about 8 till about 11, 12, about there. And the next stage this girl would go through is the most, I would say, the most intense learning. And that would be when she becomes a young woman. Okay, this young woman, in our language, we call her Oskinikisqueo. This part right here, Oskinikis, it means new. Isqueo, you see the word isqueo? There's the word woman. So in here, Oskini, it means like Uskaya, a young new woman. Not quite a adult woman, just a young woman. Now, this stage is where this young woman, Uskinikisqueo, learns more about what an adult woman would learn. More independent duties. For instance, the young woman. During this time period, I should mention, when the young girl becomes a young woman, there's a rites of passage the young woman goes through. Um, the rites of passage, it was a very important period in a young woman's life. When she became a woman, when she moved on, having her menstrual cycle. It was not, when a young girl became a woman, she was not made to feel shy or embarrassed that she was a young woman. It was a very important time in young woman's life. And at this time, she was talked to by the mothers, the aunts, the kukums, anybody that was around her, and how to conduct herself, how to treat herself with respect. Um, that during this time period, when she is a young woman, that she has to conduct herself a certain way towards the opposite sex, I would say, like her brothers, her uncles, her mushoms, that her childhood games are over, that she has to focus on learning all the skills and duties of a woman. So this was a very important time for a young woman. Now, when she was also taught more womanly, motherly duties. She helped take care of the younger siblings in her family, because it was preparing her to become a mother in the future. And she was learning hands-on experience. Then, when when she became a mother, then she moved on to the next stage, and this is where we call her a woman or isqueo. Isqueo would mean that she was the the main person in a home. She was the one that took care of the home fire, of the family, the children. She was the one that was told. She was the one that kind of directed the family towards safety and all the right things her family that she wants her family to learn. So, in the Cree family, the woman, Isquil, the mother, was the matriarchal figurehead. So, if the males wanted to do a ceremony, it was the mother who prepared the food. She was the one that prepared all the stuff that was to be handled in ceremony, like in regards to food, the preparation, everything. So the woman in our society was still is, highly regarded, highly respected, because first of all, she was the giver of life. She gave us life, the woman. She was given the gift by the Creator, Isquil, Kutawino. So with that, the woman, we must always respect and love the women in our lives. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Now, the next stage is everybody, all their elders, they pray for us. When you hear them in a ceremony, they will pray for us. That means the elders would pray for us to finally get gray hair. And that would be for the woman, the old woman, no tagwell. That's how we say old woman, no tagwell. And during this whole time period, as this girl was growing up, she was picking up knowledge, information. So when she got to this final stage, as a notagwell, it will be her turn to be a teacher, to teach the young ones all this knowledge and information she had picked up growing up. That is what she called life knowledge. And just to let you know, the old woman, notagwell, old people, they know when you've reached a certain stage, and they will call you that. I always remember my kukum. Um, First of all, talk about my late mom. She used to call me Uskinik Squill. Way back here, she used to call me Uskinik Squill. I even had kids, and she used to call me Uskinik Squill. And I kind of felt proud, but at the same time, I wanted to move on to the next stage in my life. And I guess it was, because they were old, they realized that with the way I was, thinking, that I didn't not go reach that next stage in my life. So one day, my mom decided to call me Squill. Squill. I remember she used to call me that too. Squill. And then I think I must have been in my early 50s. One day, my mom decided, and my kukum too. One day, I remember that day when they call me Notagwell. And then I knew that I had reached this stage, Notagwell. Okay. Now that is about the female, the girl's side. I'm going to talk about the boy's side. As I was saying, the first stage a boy goes through is apistoasis. Apistoasis, an infant baby. And then the next one would be awasis, child. And then right after that, napesis, a boy. It was during this time period that their mushrooms, their dads, these boys, napes, would take them out, teach them about hunting, snaring, trapping, take them out into the land, how to read the signs of the land, how to read the sky. All of this was taught to them. You know, in the Cree world, like the girl and the boy, each were given a specific set of information. The girls were taught something and the boys were taught something. So when they got together, they had all this knowledge. It was all complete, I would say. So, during this time period, the boy napises were taught everything there was about the land, because when the boy grows up, he will become the provider. That's the reason why the boys napis were taught this, to learn how to live off the land, how to read it, how to read the sky, even the birds, animals, everything. And when the boy was given this certain just this a certain amount of information. And when they became a young man, skinny ko. There's that word again. Uski means new. That word right there, oski, means new. Uski ni q. Young. This is actually the word for little man. Okay, new young man. During this time period, as with the young girl, young woman, this young man went through rites of passage. I have 4 brothers. They went through that rites of passage too. And that rites of passage usually meant that they fasted. So, all of us in my family, including myself, we fasted. We joined the Sundance. Same thing, I have 3 boys. They fasted too. They went through that rites of passage. And during this time, this young man was also talked to by old people. That meant they were taught how to respect the females, the women, the girls. And they were told their rules in society. During this period, the young man was also taught how to help out in ceremonies. They were taught the beginnings about they were during this time period. The young men who skinny go helped out in feasts, and some of them actually moved on to higher learning, like in how to help out in sundances, the construction, because when men they built Sundance, it's a lot of information. Okay. And when this was done, so skinny go, when the elderly male decided they were ready to move on to become napeo. During this time period, the stage, the man napeo who would have a family, they would be the provider, All that stuff that they were taught growing up, they would put it to use to provide food, to provide protection, security, a home for their family, to be the protector of their woman, their children. And at the same time, they haven't stopped learning. They're still learning how to help other males in the family, in the females. So when the man is still learning, the final end result would be, well, I shouldn't say end result, for that man to become Kesenu, an old man. This word Kesenu, Exenu, that means they sit there and provide knowledge. Okay. Now, I just wanted to explain something to one final thing. When you combine these two, old man, Kesenu, and old woman, Notago, we have one term for that. Kihteya, elder. A kihteya. That is what everybody strives uh, to reach, to be a kihteya. Doing this kihteya now is what they're doing is passing. They're the teachers. Kayas, a long time ago, the kihteya and this one right here, I'm going to show you. Where did I put it? They were always together. A child, Awash and kihteya. They were always together. Because the kihteya was the teacher of Awash. These two kayas were always protected because the kihteya was the past and the Awash was the future. The kihteya would pass the knowledge, all the information that they had learned in their lifetime onto the Awash, the future. So they want the Awash to go through the different stages to finally reach kihteya stage, and they in turn pass it down. So that is my lesson on this ayisiyiniwiwin, pimatisiwin. I hope I shed a little light about all this, how we grow up, the different parts in our lives. Because the reason why I'm saying this is I went through these different parts in my life. And my greatest teachers, I would say, are my kokom and my late mom. They passed on whatever they had learned, I guess, on to me. I can't, and the same thing with my, speaking for my three boys, my three young boys, they have not, they have not yet reached, I would say, to me, my boys are still, they may have kids of their own, but to me, they are still uskiniko, a young man. I guess, I will tell them when the time would come for me when they reached Napeo stage. Even this young man I'm sitting with on my left-hand side, Nathan Arias, to me in my eyes, he is a uskiniko, a young man. You know, you gotta, I guess it's how the person acts and behaves. So with that, I would like to say, if anybody has any questions, I'll try and answer as much as I possibly can. Um, I wanna I wanna tell you a little bit about my growing up. I remember my childhood. I have 4 brothers, and during my childhood, we used to play together. But at the same time, I remember I had to do housework. I must have been 7, 8. I remember doing housework. And when I was done my housework, like I knew how to make bannock already when I was about 8, 7. I knew how to clean the house because that was one of the things I had to be taught. And with my brothers, when we were done our chores, we got to play. And I don't have any sisters, and I didn't really grow up too much with female cousins. We didn't really live close together. And it was my kokum, they just let us explore the land. And then when I became a certain age, I had to, they used to say, stay with your time, don't play with your brothers too much. And then my kokum would say, Astam. She would call me in, she would talk to me, and she would explain to me about what was going to be happening to me. Same thing with my mom, that when I reach a certain age, that I would have my moon time, and not to be scared that if I have them, that I'm supposed to go tell them right away. So the time came when I became a woman, a young woman. Now I wasn't scared, and I quietly went in, and I told my mom, and my mom told me, "Begong go to ten to apekte kipa squat." And I go in the bedroom, go sit down, go close the door, because it was a school day, and she was getting my brothers ready for school. Actually, I was ready to go to school that day. Anyways, and my brothers got on the bus, and but anyways, I told my dad went and told my kokum mushum that I became a woman. And I thought, I was kind of embarrassed that my dad knew, and they had to go tell my kokum and mushum. And then, I thought, when the bus pulled up, the boys ran out, my brothers ran out, and my mom stuck his head out, and real loud, she called to the bus driver and said in Cree, "My daughter can't come to school for 1 week. She just became a woman." Oh my goodness, I was so embarrassed. If I was an ostrich, I would have hidden my head in the snow. But anyways, I understood why they said that. It was a very proud moment for them. Very proud moment for them that I reached this next stage. And while I was in the bedroom, they were preparing this little tiny room. Like, back then we didn't have no running water or anything like that. And they prepared it, and that was to be my home for 1 week. So they put my mushroom, my dad, they put a little bed in there, and my kokum and mom, they prepared it. They made a little bed. They put like a little, wash tub, my own plate, everything. So, but anyways, I was in there for 1 week. I wasn't allowed to come out of that room. And during that time period of 1 week, my mom and my kukum took turns coming in, talking to me about how I should conduct myself, how I should show respect, who to show respect to, and all that. And they taught me different skills like how to sew by hand, how to bead, how to darn the socks, like all these skills. But during that, I wasn't allowed to leave that room. Even my brothers, I wasn't allowed to talk to them. And I remember my brothers used to knock on the door and they would ask, they said, how come our Nimisinan, our Nimis, can't come out and play? And my mom, I remember my mom explained to them I was sick. But anyways, yeah. But at the end of that whole week, there was a lot of knowledge and information passed down to me during that time period. And at the end of that week, there was a little ceremony. It was like my coming out into the world of woman. And when the time came when I had to step over this, there were four old ladies. There were two on each side, sitting down on the path, I would say. And as I stepped over that woman's smudge, they were praying. And it was after that there was a little feast, and all the stuff that I had in that room that I used, I had to give it all away to the old ladies that were there, that had been invited to come and pray and smudge and celebrate this next stage. But anyways, yeah. And I'm trying to keep that rites of passage ritual practice in my family. So I did that to one of my granddaughters already. And yeah. So with that, this whole every stage in life of a nehiyaw Cree person was always celebrated. Even a pistawas, a child, a baby. It was an infant baby, a pistawas, awasis, any kind of accomplishment. It was a celebration. There was always feasts, like even with a baby. Even the whole point of when a baby abstuasis, their belly button comes off, that was a celebration. And usually, kihte an old man, keseno, or an old woman, notago, was given the belly button, and they prayed over it. But anyways, yeah. So I guess there are no calls. We'll just leave it at that. And thank you for listening. Do you guys want to call? People that are listening and watching, would you be willing to have a call in to ask questions? Just let us know in the comments there. And then we'll get back to you. And the next one we will be having. Oh, thank you, Elaine, for your comment there. Nice to hear from you. Catherine, thank you. Can I make a little? Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you. Oh, that's one thing I would also like to comment. That Catherine, she wrote, hi. I'm going to explain about that, the different ways of saying thank you. The reason why I'm saying this, my kukum told me this. Like I said, my kukum was one of my most valued teachers. Yeah, this word, the thank yous, the thank you, hi. The only, she said, hi, Oma. This that word, hi. You only say it after when somebody says a prayer or after an elder talks. When an elder's done talking or after a prayer, you say hi. But in other cases, if somebody gives you something or does something good for you, you can either say kitatamihin or kinanaskumitin. So those are the differences because hi is the spiritual thank you. And kitatamihin, kinanaskumitin is the human way of saying thank you to each other. So I would like to share that with you. Okay. Yeah, thank you for all listening. So I guess the next podcast will be every day, Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock. So if you have any comments, any questions, please you can ask them there, and we'll do the best we can. If anybody wants to be a guest, please let me know. If you have anything to share with the young people, because what? Check. But anyways, yeah, get a hold of me there. Okay, that's my email, and you can go on wherever you are, even if you're in Timbuktu. Tantetuipo, I don't even know where that is. But anyways, yeah, thank you again. Have a Mugi Skansik, Mumachuak, Nagatogatsuk. Ego Kutawin Ogo is Nagatogatugao. Okay. Some.